Welcome to episode 22 of the Jez and Friends podcast. Today's special guest to the podcast is Jacinta. How's it going?
Going pretty well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. We're going to be covering many topics, including music, school, neurod college, climate change, and some funny stories. Now let's get started. So the first topic is exams. So obviously exams are coming up in the next few weeks. Talk us through your exams. How you feeling leading up to exams?
I'll be honest, I have not comprehended that I have to do exams yet. Um, I have been trying to prepare, but I'm also a very good procrastinator, so I haven't really been doing much. I know what I want to do to prepare, so.
So how many exams do you have?
Uh, four, I've got English, Maths, Global Empires, and Psych.
Yeah, same. Do you have like a day off, or is it just like every day for like 4 days in a row or something?
Well, yeah, on Wednesday, I don't have any exams, which is pretty good. Right in the middle of the week.
Yeah, great. So this is a hypothetical question where it changes every week. So for this week, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, Jacinta?
I mean, I'd like to have a good job. Well, I assume that I'll be either in uni or recently graduated uni, and just like living with a couple other people, uh, getting by. I don't have any big plans or anything, so.
Yeah, that's great. So what type of music or artist do you listen to? I'm not sure really what you listen to.
I'll be honest, I listen to a very broad range, but I mostly listen to indie music because I'm just that extra. Um, and just like generally smaller artists, just because the vibe is nice. I like listening to nice vibes.
Yeah. And speaking of music, tell us about your own singing and your acting, because it's pretty good, I'd say. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I haven't really done anything recently, but all the way back in 2018, I was in a movie called Rock Sugar, which hasn't come out yet, so it's not really
Yeah.
that impressive. But yeah, it's good. Singing wise, I haven't really been doing much. Just I don't know, just random stuff.
Through their hit Guns or whatever from
Oh, the
last year.
hit Guns. Yes, I am a very prestigious songwriter. One of my songs, Guns, uh, I wrote last year at Neurod Gundage. My friend Brody likes to take credit for some of it because he played the A minor chord, and I was like, I like that chord. It sounds like a cowboy song. And then I went on to write Guns. Um, so it's quite a important part of my career. It's really what launched my fame in general. It's really close to me. It's like a really personal song, and it has some really like deep lyrics. I think, like especially "There's a gun in my left hand." The first lyric of the song, I think, really starts off the motion of the whole song, and it really ties together everything and all the metaphors within it.
Yeah, great. And also tell us about how we come to know each other today. Probably high school, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So we obviously started off in year seven together,
Yeah.
but I don't think we were that close until we had Italian together, I guess. It's probably
Yeah,
when
probably. Yeah, I think so.
yeah, that's probably where we first started talking to each other. It was you, me, Ruby, and Ted who would often be in
Oh,
groups
yeah, sure.
together. Um, yeah, that was good. I don't really remember much Italian.
Yeah, it's kind of
Sorry about
fading
that.
away, sadly. But
Yeah. Ciao, mi chiamo Chita.
Chiamo Cherry, yeah.
Oh man.
Italian was some good times. And are you doing business next year with Bucko?
Um, I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I am, but I went to talk to Bucko the other day to change some of my subjects, and we sorted it out, and I'm pretty sure I'm doing Bizman, but it was like just a vague enough conversation that I could be doing Treacle Bio instead. But I'm pretty sure I'll be doing Bizman, and that's what I want to do. So
Yeah, that's great to hear. So what do you want to do after school? I think you talked to me about that earlier, but yeah, talk us through that.
yeah, well, I don't really have a very clear cut idea of what I want to do after school. I mean, I'm 16. I know I should have. Well, no, I don't. I'm
You
not
don't
should,
have to,
but
yeah.
I don't have um, a very clear idea of what I want to do. I'm thinking of speech therapy. I've been told I'd be good at journalism, but I don't really know yet. Still have time to decide. So
Yeah, true. We still have a few years to go, so yeah, and PC, which is
absolutely,
going to be
a fun ride.
yeah, a fun ride. Yeah, so basically we're back at school. Obviously we're filming the podcast here. Try and get a few schoolmates. Obviously Jacinta's one of my schoolmates. And how are you dealing with face-to-face learning and not being stuck on a screen Zoom call all day?
I think that being back at school has been really good, especially for my maths because I was not doing very well in math methods in online learning. I just wasn't able to focus and stuff. But being back at school is good because I can actually take notes and then teacher's actually roaming around, so I'll be sure to actually do my work and stuff. So yeah, it's been good, a lot better than online learning.
Yeah, because you can't really suck off, can you?
No.
Yeah. I
Well, you
used to,
can. It's just a bit more difficult.
yeah, you get caught sucking off sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so social media minute, Jacinta, create a hashtag. Could be anything.
Oh man, I was trying to think of this because I've seen some of your other episodes and people always have to come up with a hashtag
Yeah.
and they can never think of one.
Yeah, true.
And then I just forgot about it. So I'm going to do hashtag I forgot to think of a hashtag.
Yeah, that's great. Might have to remove the hashtag soon. This might be the last one, guys. Yeah,
Very special.
yeah, a special last one.
Yeah.
So the quote of a podcast is push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. What is a quote or something you live by?
Something I live by? Um, God, I feel like a lot of quotes, I look at them and I'm like, haha, as if I would ever do that because I don't push myself. Well, I do push myself, but I feel like I don't push myself all that much, as much as I should. Um, that was very contradictory. I think a quote that I like to live by is there's a gun in my left hand, there's a gun in my right hand, there's a gun in my pocket, there's a gun in my other pocket. And to talking back again about those metaphors, like, I mean, obviously, if you don't understand, then you just don't understand. And you obviously don't have very good analysis skills because it's really clear what the metaphor is there. But I do that because I think it's really true to myself, especially because I wrote it. And it's such I would almost call it the best written line in history.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
yeah, well, yeah. Like, obviously, I'm not like a narcissist or anything, but it's definitely the best. Like, it's not even like subjective. It's obviously the best. So I like to live by that quote.
Yeah, great. So what's the last movie or TV show you've watched?
My sister and I have been watching Superstore, which is quite good. It's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but in a Walmart sort of place. And we watch TV shows while doing our nails every like 5 days or whatever. And so we watch Superstore quite regularly because it's like just dumb enough for us to laugh at, but like also serious so that we can actually be invested in the plot.
Yeah, that's great. So is that on Netflix or?
It's on Amazon Prime, so it's not
Yeah,
many people have it, but
I'm thinking of switching to Amazon Prime because
yeah,
I don't know. They offer some pretty good like deals as well in terms of shopping wise, apparently. So,
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure they do.
yeah, because Netflix, they've been bumping up their prices. So
Yes, I
I
have.
think it's like I don't even know, but
Mm,
it's worse than it was before. So,
absolutely.
yeah. So Netflix, sorry, but might have to ditch you. So do you have any funny stories? Because we love funny stories on the podcast, Jacinta.
Um, well, okay. I've got a whole list of funny stories about my younger brother, he's autistic, he's nonverbal. I think there's like 93 things on that list at that point. Um, so it's all just like things that he's done that are stupid. Actually, I think I'm gonna get it up if I can. Um, hang on, number, and then you can do it from 1 to 82.
It's just one number.
One number from 1 to 82.
We'll go with number 14.
Number 14. 14 is we cut his own hair
Yeah.
at home because he doesn't like the hairdressers, and we gave him a mullet.
Really?
for a bit. Yeah, and my mum did not like it. She got very angry and she wouldn't let us take any photos because it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then we shaved it off so it was just a buzz cut. And then later on, we gave him a mohawk, which he did like. And I think we're going to give it to him again.
Yeah, that's right. I've never had a mohawk before, but
You should.
I should.
You
Yeah.
should. It's really cool to just like put it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to comb my hair, I don't think, if I had a mohawk. And I don't really comb my hair anyway. So good to know. Where am I? So tell us about Nurat Gunage Camp. To those who don't know about it, obviously we went to it last year. I'd say it changed my life. It's changed yours as well. So
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So, Nurad Gundich is a school for student leadership where you go there with, well, we had 43 other teenagers, but I think the total would be like 46 or something because there's one empty room. But we went with 43 other kids for 2 months. We stayed at this campus where we learnt life skills. I know you learnt how to do chores more, like doing the dishes, or some people did like being better at public speaking, which I guess you also did as well because you've got a podcast now.
Yeah.
I learned to deal with my conflict resolution skills. Yeah, and you do all that sort of stuff. You stay away from home for 2 months. You have one little work break in the middle. And it's been a year ago today. We would have been at Nurad, about to go on visiting weekend.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because it's gone pretty quick. It's been a year already, and we're pretty much reminiscing about how it was last year.
I keep getting like notifications on my phone. Like my Google Photos tells me when a photo has been taken a year ago, and it keeps being like, "Oh, you went on Expo this date a year ago," and it's very sad.
I just look at my sways and just
absolutely.
trying to memorize the day
Yeah.
again. Or something. But yeah, speaking of Nurad, do you have like a favorite memory there, or like something you remember the most from there?
I think every time it's nighttime and I look up, I think of both expos, just because on the first expo, we lay down outside of our tents. There was you, me, Ben, Patria, and Brody.
Just record
It was
the Fantastic Five.
Did we? I did not remember that. But the five of us, we lay down. We just on the grass. We didn't have blankets or anything. We just lay down. We looked up, and we just talked for hours. And we spotted constellations. I remember you could only see cow constellations.
Yeah, that should be a funny story. You
just kept pointing out. One's like, "Oh, that one looks like a cow." And we're like, "Oh, really?" And then on Expo 2, we actually slept outside. Well, I slept outside on both nights, and most people slept outside on the second night, which I'm a bit upset about for the first night because I fell asleep right next to Brody, and Tori fell asleep as well.
Yeah.
Brody woke up. Oh no, he didn't wake up. He saw that I was asleep, and he just went back into his tent.
So he ditched you.
He just ditched me outside, and then he saw Tori was asleep as well, and he just went back into his tent. And then Tori woke up, and I don't think she actually saw that I was asleep, but she still went back into her tent.
But you know what they say, Jacinta? Karma, and the next night, Brody got left out by herself, didn't he?
Yeah, so the next night we all slept outside, and then it started to rain in the morning, so we all woke up to this really nice mist of rain, and then we just left Brody outside while we all went into one tent. And so we were all squashed in there, and Brody woke up to a wet sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Nura just brings up so many funny memories as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
We should go back there next year maybe, because we struck up some pretty good, relationships with some of the year 7s. No, year 8s who are going next year, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So we could hitch a ride with them maybe, hopefully.
Just go say hi to the teachers, except for the one who won't be named.
Yeah, a few. There's a few. Yeah. So, Jacinta, what are your goals for 2021? Because I reckon you have a few.
I do. My main goal is to be able to have a better study habit because I'm terrible at doing my homework and studying in general. Shout out to Miss Maharaj, who is probably really mad with me because I haven't done very much coursework at all for Global Empires this term. So I think I just plan on getting a much better study habit and figure out a way to prevent my procrastination.
Yeah, fair enough. you like have a specific study technique? I know for me, I like using checklists and all that. So
Well, I keep trying different ways, and then they work for a little bit, and then they don't work. Um, I've tried many. I have this little book that I used to carry around with me, and I should start doing it again. Where every class that I had, I'd write down what homework I had, and if I didn't have homework, I'd write none to make sure that I was definitely sure that I didn't have any. And then that would be a checklist, and I'd like rule that out like every day. Um, and I've also tried having like a jar where I like picked out what homework I was supposed to do and then do that. I want to try something where I like just set a 5 minute timer. I'm like, okay, I only have to do it for 5 minutes because I know that if I just do it for 5 minutes, then it'll be fine. Then I can leave. But usually when I start something, I get on a roll and then I can't stop myself. And so if I just start it with the 5 minutes and then I'll just keep going and then maybe I'll finish it or do a lot of it. So
yeah, that's great. And something popped up in my head. Talk us through like Among Us, because obviously I've been playing with you guys a bit, and
yeah,
what's that like, to be honest? Because it's like a different kind of game than most other games, and
absolutely.
I'm like known as like the guy who can't be trusted, pretty much.
Yeah, well, the thing is you just like take forever to give any sort of information. And so you're like, the meeting will have been like a good like half, all the way, almost all the way through. And you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I saw this person vented. And we'll be like, what? And then we'll think it's you because you're just randomly giving up this random piece of information out of nowhere. And then we'll eject you and then it's not you. You just didn't say the information until the very end. Oh. Yeah, but it's a fun game. I definitely like playing it. Um, I think I like to consider myself a detective, but honestly, I'm probably not that much of a detective.
Yeah,
And I'm not very good at imposter either.
yeah, because Maz knows
Well, I figured out my tell for Maz, but Miranda knows when I'm lying apparently, and I don't know how to um what it actually is that she is hearing in my
I don't
voice.
even know myself.
Yeah,
So
so I've figured out what Maz hears and I've stopped that, but I need to figure out what Miranda hears because she knows when I'm lying immediately.
yeah, that's true. And we haven't been playing much, but we should get back into it.
We
Hopefully,
should
yeah. Because I need to regain some trust. Hopefully, yeah.
mm, regain trust in Among
Yeah,
Us.
because I don't want to get voted out straight away.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and we'll move on now. So, do you remember your first day of high school? Um, I kind of do, but what was it like for you?
Do I remember my first day of high school? I think I definitely remember bits of it. I remember I started off being friends with some people that probably weren't.
That are not your friends today.
They are not my friends today,
Yeah.
but I did meet Miranda, Ruby, and Maz, and we were friends, but I think we were all part of this one big group, and
Yeah.
then it kind of split off a bit. Um, I remember, I remember thinking that, oh, sorry, I remember like seeing all the people from KPS and being like so terrified because no one from my primary school was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that would have been
And
hard.
yeah, especially because I moved from Sydney to Melbourne halfway through year six so that I could meet some people to go to high school with, and then no one went to Mac, so I just went without anyone that I knew anyway. So it was, yeah, but I don't remember much other than that.
Yeah, for me, I remember going the long way to school, so that other way, like
Mm,
from the tram stop to the Elbow, just yeah,
right,
and I could have used that shortcut, but I never did. I was a bit scared.
fair enough.
Didn't want to get, I don't know, kidnapped or something. But, yeah, now I use a shortcut, which is good. And I know you don't play much sports, but surely, true or false, your favourite sport is volleyball.
Um, well, excluding any sports that don't actually have any exercise, volleyball is definitely my favorite sport. It's really the only sport I do play. Well, before Nurad, I played on a team, but then I didn't really want to go back because, not because like they're all nice people, but
Yeah.
like at the same time, I was just gone for 2 months and I was already bad at volleyball, and then I just like randomly disappeared, and I don't think many of them actually knew why I was gone. And then I thought it would be too awkward to go back, so I was like, yeah, I don't really want to go to volleyball anymore. And so now sometimes I play with my dad's team because it's like an all ages one.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
pretty cool.
yeah, and I've been trying to exercise by playing with my dad every afternoon, but that hasn't always happened.
Yeah, we played volleyball just today for
Yeah,
PE, and I hate being at the front because I'm not the tallest, and
you
every
gotta
time,
jump, Jerry.
yeah, like I chuck my hand out to block the what's it called, the smash or
Spikes.
yeah, the spikes, but yeah, and I had Eamon in my team as well, so yeah, it's doing some good stuff. Yeah, I'd rather be at the back where like the balls are like loopy and all that. So it's hard to
When
explain.
you dig.
Yeah,
But
when you
also,
do.
when you have to get it at the back, it usually hurts more because, like, not because digging hurts. Well, it does
I
hurt more
hate
than
setting.
setting.
It hurts for me.
Really? Are you doing it right?
I don't think so. I think I'm just
You have to, okay, triangle with your hands. Triangle. And then when the ball goes in, you have to almost, like, if it kept going, it should touch your forehead. And then you just flick it up.
with like your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, look at me teaching Jerry sports.
Yeah. That's the only sport
Imagine.
I'm pretty shit at, to be honest. Yeah. So what are your fears, Jacinta? Mine are like snakes and spiders.
Oh, okay. I feel like I don't have any main fears, but I'm just scared of everything. Everything.
Can you like narrow it down a bit?
I probably can't. Although you know what? Honestly, I feel like I'm I'm scared of random stuff that I shouldn't be scared of, but I'm not scared of like spiders or
Mm.
snakes. Like I'm not gonna go up to one and be like, "Oh look, oh wow," but I'm not like
Yeah, I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
I can't watch horror movies though.
Really?
The only horror movie I've ever watched is It, and that was because my sister forced me to
Yeah,
on
I
Halloween.
can't
I
watch
did
that
not
as
like
well.
it.
That's yeah.
I did not like it. It's okay plot wise, but I don't like horror movies at all.
Yeah, I just feel like a mess after I finish watching it
Yeah,
for some reason. Yeah, that's your fear, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Horror movies.
I think that's a fear of mine as well. So that's
Mm.
like three fears for me now, or three major ones. We'll move on. So, do you have a useful tool that you use that could benefit the listeners? For me, like listening to music before school pumps me up, gets me ready for the day. Pretty much.
Useful tool. I like having very organized emails. I think that that's something that's really important for me. I don't know if people probably know this, but you can add like um, section. What are they called? Like labels onto your emails, but you can also add filters that'll automatically put the labels on. And so for me, I have like all Compass posts. I have labels that automatically go on, and that way I can like figure out which ones I actually need to pay attention to because I'll see the little blue tab on it. So like all Compass posts aren't usually like top priority, and then I have Classroom posts for another one that also aren't top priority because I usually see it on Classroom anyway.
Yeah, like every day.
Yeah, and I think you can also like automatically archive some. I don't do that just in case, but it could probably be useful for some people as well.
Yeah, that's good. I don't organize my emails and I have like 4,000 unread or something.
No,
I like just keeping it unread or something.
that
It's just,
makes my chest hurt.
really, do you just mark as read or something?
Well, if it's not important, I do, but usually I open them.
Yeah, but you can't open like the spammy ones.
Well, you don't open 4,000 because I don't leave 4,000 unread.
It's just good to let it keep building up. I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
don't know what I'm
I'm
saying.
literally going to go through all your emails at some point and just fix them.
Yeah, I'll show you after this maybe. But,
Yeah.
we'll move on again. Talk, talk us through like climate change. Obviously, we've been on a fair few rallies ourselves, like last year before COVID, obviously, and we're both pretty passionate about climate change, I'd say.
Right. Well, I don't think that my opinions on climate change are all that unique. I think they're pretty generic. I think that it's a problem that needs to be solved, and
It's good to have that opinion, though.
yeah, and I think that corporations need to um, stop blaming citizens because obviously there's stuff that we can do like as individuals to fix stuff, but there's a lot of corporations that are putting all the blame on just like the ordinary people when they're like the factories and oil companies and drilling is what is like most of what climate change is caused by. Wait, that yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm sure that that even if it doesn't make sense, people can infer. But yeah, I think it's. I mean, most corporations are kind of bad anyway, but um, big ones anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's really important that corporations start doing stuff, and governments obviously start doing stuff to prevent and put a stop to the climate change in general.
Yeah, because the real problem I'd say is it's pretty much our future because we're gonna,
Exactly.
let's say, 30 years, if things don't get done, we're gonna be affected the most. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, old people don't care because they're not going to be around to clean it up.
yeah.
They
So
don't have to worry about having to live with floods and
yeah, all this,
heat and
yeah, just
everything.
bad stuff. So ScoMo and his government just need to do more.
Yes.
This is just ScoMo. So Jacinta, what motivates you the most and why?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I don't have something main that motivates me the most. Honestly, I think it's probably some form of spite that motivates me. It's when people um, tell me that I can't do something that I'm like, well, I'm not going to swear, but you know the gist of go away. Um, I'll
Yeah,
do what I want. Um, though that kind of backfires as well, as my sister and I share a room, and she'll be like, Jacinta, clean your side of the room. It's so disgusting. It's got clothes everywhere, and it's going onto my side. And I'll be like, no, I'll do what I want. It's my room. It's not even affecting you. And so, sorry to my sister.
fair enough. So I've obviously asked you a fair few questions, and here's your moment to ask me one question far away.
Okay, so here's the question. I thought about this. You can give someone else any superpower in the entire world. Who do you give it to, and what superpower do you give them?
Any superpower?
Any that you can think of.
It's not really a superpower, but I just think because we're talking about ScoMo earlier and like climate change, so maybe like just like magically give him the ability to stop climate change, or if
Give
we
ScoMo
like,
as if
because
he'd
he's
use it.
or like
No.
implant something into his head to like automatically
Uh,
force him to do it, because
every time he blinks, he gets rid of like.
like garbage off the oceans or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, that's who I'd give it to because he has probably the most power in Australia, and the climate change issues in Australia are, building.
Very nice, very ethical.
Yeah, and it was a very good question, I'd say as well. Better
Thank you.
than like half the people in the podcast I've had so far. So,
Well, what can I say? I'm just so creative.
um, so guys, thanks for tuning into the Jez and Friends podcast. Remember, push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. And thank you so much for your time, Jacinta.